I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Sri Lanka.
Madam President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates. Today, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals are in peril. We know where we need to be and how we need to progress, but the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which is our blueprint, is in peril. It, however, appears that we are plagued with a lack of political will and the commitment to multilateralism. Madam President, we are gathered here today to commit to 56 multilateral solutions that address the needs of our people, both now and in generations to come. The Pact of the Future is our opportunity to demonstrate our shared resolve to chart this new course. During our deliberations, we have visited several key aspects that require urgent attention, including reforms to the international financial architecture, the debt restructuring, financing for development, international peace and security, science, technology and innovation, global governance, youth and future generations. Madam President, Sri Lanka thanks Namibia and Germany, Zambia and Sweden, and the Netherlands and Jamaica for navigating the deliberations over the last 18 months towards the adoption of this pact. We are sensitive to the fact that all our aspirations may not be accommodated in this pact. Negotiations on the Pact for the Future highlighted the challenges of our multilateral system, which must fit for the present and the future, prioritizing people at the center of our actions over political and economic divisions. Madam President, as a developing country, Sri Lanka sees the considerable opportunities that we can seize through the Pact of the Future and its accompanying declarations, the Global Digital Compact and the Declaration for Future Generations. We will structure our national digital development strategies upon the commitment under the 5 objectives of the Global Digital Compact to augment the delivery of the SDGs. With this positive hope, let us highlight the issue that could have made this pact more inclusive and meaningful. Madam President, if we are to seek multilateral solutions for a better tomorrow, we recognize that all 3 pillars of the United Nations should be equally strengthened. Sri Lanka is concerned about the growing SDGs financing gap. We welcome the Secretary General's proposal for an SDG stimulus to mobilize resources and encourage developing nations to meet their official development assistance commitments. And having experienced a financial crisis ourselves, Sri Lanka calls for accelerated reform of the international financial architecture to be more efficient and more equitable to better respond to the challenges faced by developing countries. Madam President, we call for the United Nations, the Secretary General, the IATF on financing for development and member states to review the sovereign debt architecture and present reforms as we head to the 4th International Conference on FFDs next year. The evolving global security landscape, Madam President, calls for a sincere commitment, we believe, to the principles of the UN Charter and to the foundational objectives of this organization. The various threats to peace and security, whether on land, at sea, in the air, outer space or cyberspace, should be addressed through efforts to restore trust, strengthen solidarity, and enhance cooperation in alignment with the recommendations of the new Agenda for Peace. As we aspire, therefore, to the implementation of the Pact of Enhancing Human Rights, we should honor the fact that all human rights are universal, indivisible and independent. We cannot turn a blind eye to serious and gross violations of human rights in one part of the world, while we call for human rights accountability in another. Multilateralism cannot be sustained on double standards. Madam President, the fiscal impacts of various crises are triggered debt distress in many developing countries, including ourselves, limiting the ability to invest in recovery, the SDGs, and in climate.
I thank